Father fatally shot by a cop who was off duty. Family is seeking support. Put up the picture full mass here. A family is seeking justice after a Southern California father was killed by an off-duty LAPD officer. In May, Hugo Cachua was the father of three children, was killed during an altercation with a guy named Victor Corral. Victor, regular job, is an LAPD cop. He was off duty at the time. His family is now planning to file a lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles. The altercation occurred in Ontario as the two men became embroiled in a heated debate. It was an argument after a reported fender bender around 8:30 p.m. Accidents happened. Both men exited their vehicles, and somehow the situation escalated into a physical confrontation. A dash cam video from a passing vehicle captured the two men struggling on a neighborhood sidewalk when three gunshots were suddenly heard. Family members said that he was unarmed when he was shot in the back at the time. The cop had been on medical leave for about a year due to an injury, according to the Los Angeles Times. Hugo was shot multiple times, said Renee Daly, the family's attorney. Quote, he had at least 6 bullet wounds, and the final one appeared to be a bullet wound that went through his head. The officer paused in between the shootings for that last shot. That's an execution, right? Let's put up the family. So now you have a father taken away from his children. You have a son taken away from the mother, brother taken away from the siblings. Now, if you're engaged in mutual combat and the guy get the best of you, you can't just pull out a gun and shoot him. That's not how this works, okay? That's not your self-defense claim. Daly insists Hugo was not armed during the altercation. While some witnesses reported Hugo allegedly attacked the officer. Hugo's family, however, questioning why was Corral armed in the first place. So the cop joined the LAPD's Central Division in 1995. An LAPD source told the Times Corral that Corral had not qualified on the shooting range, according to department procedure, since he had been off work for an extended period. In such circumstances, under department policy, an officer's privilege to carry a concealed weapon should be withdrawn. But that did not happen in this case, the source told Times. The California Department of Justice will be heading the investigation. The officer involved has not been arrested. In June, he returned back to work. So he's on this medical leave, has not been active for a year, did not update his certifications. We will call that a Georgia. He no longer has his post certification to effect arrest, to carry a concealed weapon, et cetera, okay? Which means regular guy status should apply here. Regular person status. You are not the police, but they kept him on payroll, right? Now, this is a legal issue now. Either he the police, he not the police. If he is the police, the department definitely has an opportunity here to make it right. If he's not the police, well, why was he extended all these privileges to still have a concealed weapon that had not been withdrawn, even though he did not update his certification, et cetera, et cetera? So you have a lot here. It also seems as if the wheels are turning very differently because he's a cop who hasn't worked for a whole year. Dear sister, how do you see it?
Dr. Richey, I completely agree with you. I think the main question here is why does he still have a concealed weapon after being on medical leave for an entire year? Not only that, they just let him go back to work. If this was a regular civilian, not even to mention the color of his skin, he would be behind bars. We now have a father who is not going to get to see his children anymore. Three kids who have to grow up without seeing their dad ever again over a road rage incident. He wasn't pulled over. This isn't a case where qualified immunity or even absolute immunity, which Donald Trump wants to give to officers, would apply. We're talking about two regular civilians who were in a road rage incident that escalated to the point of one of them, their life being ended and being fatally shot. There have to be consequences for situations like this. And we're not seeing any here. He's back at work. He still has his concealed weapon. And now three kids are left to grieve and mourn.
And it's so sad. I mean, at the end of the day, it's cowardly. If you engage in combat, you get out your car, you hop out on somebody, you pull up on them, you engage in combat, mutual combat. The person gets the best of you. Listen, you're man enough to give ass whooping, be man enough to take one if it don't go your way. But pulling out a gun to shoot and kill someone, and you just met them 60 seconds ago, is insane. There's nothing that person could have possibly done to make you want to stop their existence. All right. So naturally, this individual should pay for his crime, in my opinion.